How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Fordham Firesides. I'm your host, Hank Michaels. Today, I have John Sanchez from Bronx Community Board 6 here today, and he's going to talk to me about their involvement with Fordham and what they do, what his role is, that sort of thing. So, from what I understand, BCB 6 is a government unit, and they cover like a certain district that includes Belmont, right?
Yes.
That's about all I know. So,
okay.
what else should I know?
Well, thanks for having me, Hank.
Of course.
Community boards are the most local level of government.
Okay.
And we deal with various issues, whether you're having problems with sanitation, trash not being picked up on your corner.
Okay.
Whether there's traffic issues, you're looking for a stop sign or a street light to be fixed.
Yeah.
All the way to planning community events with Fordham,
Mm-hmm.
local parks, park cleanups, things like that. So we're kind of like a one-stop shop for people that want to get involved in government.
Okay. So would you say it's very service-based then?
I would say we're mandated to be service-based.
Okay.
But I want to have the best community board in the city, so we go above and beyond what we're mandated to do. So
Gotcha.
We're often planning.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. We're often planning weekend events. We're doing a scholarship contest that we do for the second year in a row.
Yeah.
We have an internship program that's paid, and we want to go above and beyond what people think a community board is, because too often people don't know what local government is.
Yeah.
They think it's foreign, it's distant. We want to be engaged with the community, so that's our goal.
So I was looking on your website, and there's 50-something community boards 51 throughout all of New York City. 59.
Yeah.
Okay. So is there like a healthy competition to be the best community board then? Or is it no competition? Is 6 the best one?
I can confidently say we've been doing many things that other community boards around the city haven't done.
Okay.
But we want them to do the same thing because it makes our city better.
Yeah.
And it makes our entity better as well.
Okay. So what other neighborhoods are a part of 6?
So we have Belmont, of course. We have West Farms, which is about a mile from here. We have Bathgate, and we have the East Tremont neighborhood, which is also about a mile from where we are right now.
Is that right by the Tremont stop on the Metro North?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my only exposure to Tremont. But
we got to change that.
Yeah. So are all these neighborhoods connected then? Are they all bordering each other, or is it just separate neighborhoods that are part of the board?
They're bordering each other.
Okay.
There's the zip codes 10457, 58, and 60.
Okay.
So all very close.
Got it. All right. So what have you guys been doing with Fordham? We talked very briefly before we got on, and you said that you've been speaking to West Wing for 2 years now. You come in once a year for one of their classes. West Wing is it's the ILC in O'Hare. What else have you done with Fordham so far?
Well, I started the job 3 years ago, and one of my first priorities was to ensure that there's a greater relationship between the community and the university.
Okay.
We have a large institution, and people in the community sometimes feel distant from it,
and
vice versa. So from the very beginning, I've had interns from Fordham for the past 3 years. More than a dozen interns from Fordham have interned at my office. I'm going to the West Wing again. Also, West Wing students participated in our 3rd annual holiday toy giveaway.
Okay.
More than 24 students came and volunteered and gave out toys to students. They even did a toy drive for us.
Okay.
So that was great. Fordham students have also helped us with park cleanups, and they've even helped us with our annual 5K run.
Oh, okay.
So every year, the relationship between Fordham and the community gets stronger and stronger. And a lot of that is just being proactive and going to the campus and speaking to the students directly, because I realize students like yourself want to be involved. They just need to know the avenues on how to do so.
Sure. So would you say that going through BCB 6, I'm saying that because it's like easier to remember and just like get out really fast. But would you say that the best way to get involved in, particularly our neighborhood, Belmont, would be through BCB 6?
100%.
Okay.
Whether people are interested in environmental justice, whether people are interested in doing volunteer with youth work, people are interested in parks. If someone wants to get involved with the local community, we can find a way to plug you in.
Okay, gotcha. So, all right. So you do volunteer stuff, and then you have interns.
Yes.
So what do the interns do? Are they kind of on like the more government planning side, or I'm sure they volunteer to an extent as well. What are those roles?
So one thing that I'm proud about is that our community board is the only community board in the city that has a year-round paid internship program.
Okay.
And the current president of Fordham USG, Kaylee Wong is
Okay.
she was in my first class of interns. So we have good people.
Okay.
So interns do various things, whether it's helping me with research, doing briefs on specific subjects, joining me on meetings, helping plan community events,
Okay.
and helping strengthen the relationship with other stakeholders like the university.
Okay. Would you say that the university is a very large stakeholder? Since wait, is Fordham technically in Belmont? Is that how that is?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
all right.
in Belmont.
Okay. I mean, I feel like people don't really think that because they think, oh, Belmont is the neighborhood south of Fordham. But so where's the line there? Is it what's the name of the road between that and the Botanical Gardens? Is that the line, or is the Botanical Gardens in Belmont as well?
So it depends what part of the Botanical Garden you're at.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But pretty much, I would say north of 191st and Fordham Road, you're not in Belmont anymore.
Okay. Okay.
So that's what I would say.
Okay. So the Botanical Gardens have been annexed into.
The tip of the Botanical Garden's part of it,
Okay.
but it's New York. People have boundaries for the neighborhoods that aren't clearly delineated.
Sure. All right. And then, so volunteers, do they just do people just show up for different volunteer work, or they're people who are like volunteers that are kind of on staff and, come to events like whenever they can throughout the entire year?
I think it's a combination. Some students want to do a one-off volunteering event, and that's fine. But some students want more of a sustained thing. So one thing that we're looking forward to is we're working with one of the student clubs that do field hockey.
Okay.
And they're going to lead a workshop of free field hockey lessons for youth in the neighborhood starting in 2020. And that's a collaboration we had just by me speaking to students at Fordham.
Oh, yeah. So I think that's a really good idea, because instead of, you can obviously go to West Wing and, there's service-based, but like partnering with a club that's not necessarily for service-based, I think is like a really interesting idea, and coming up with events like that, like field hockey in the neighborhood and that sort of thing. Yeah. Has there been any other clubs like that you've talked to, or that you would potentially be interested in partnering with?
100%. It's a work in progress. It's a big institution, and I think you have more than 50 different student clubs. So it's a matter of trying to go to each one and trying to see where it makes sense. But one thing that we did that was really nice 2 years ago, we did an open mic night where we had the Ramblers, other student groups perform, as well as community members perform. And we want to do the same thing again next year, to do an open mic night off campus at a nice venue, the Bronx River Arts Center, just to bridge that gap and show that there's talent in the university, there's also talent in the community.
Where is that, the Community Arts Center?
The Bronx River Arts Center
River Arts, yes.
Yep, it's in the West Farms neighborhood.
Okay.
So it's on East Tremont. It's literally about a mile from here by car.
Okay. Is that the best way you recommend to get there? Cab or Uber?
Uber, or if someone wants to walk, they can walk as well.
Yeah, I mean, a mile is not that bad.
That's right, it's not.
Okay. So what are some of the events that you do that you probably say stand out the most? Not necessarily ones that are, connected to Fordham students. I mean, they might be, but like, what are some of your favorite ones, I guess?
Yes, I would say this year we're going to do our 4th annual holiday toy giveaway and party. Okay. And I would say we're probably most proud of that because it's unlike typical toy giveaways that happen throughout the city. This is only for families and children that live in homeless shelters.
Okay.
Because Community Board 6 has the most homeless shelters in the Bronx.
Oh, really?
And we don't just give them a toy and have them leave. We make an event out of it. We have performers, we have food, we have pictures with Santa. We really give them an experience that they never forget. And we're proud to be doing this for the 4th year in a row.
So they come in to get the toy. That's how it works.
And they come in, they enjoy the experience, and at the end they get the toys and pictures with Santa.
Oh, that's cute. See, I always thought toy drives were just like, they get dropped off somewhere. And,
no. We make it official. We decorate the room. We do it at a catering hall, and it's a really good event.
Okay. What else is coming up then for the rest of this fall or early Christmas season?
Sure. So the toy giveaway is going to be December 13th, but before that, we're having a daffodil bulb planting at Tremont Park.
Okay.
November 2nd. That's a Saturday.
Sure.
But I'd say the one thing that students can definitely get involved with from now through the end of next year, we're launching our first set of workshops, civics workshops for the Bronx. Okay. So we're going to be informing people about who their elected officials are, what they actually do, but then also about the census, voter registration, and how they can effectively advocate for what they want.
Okay. Yeah, that's fantastic.
And we're going to be doing these on Saturdays twice a month for the next year and a half throughout the community.
Do you see that as like a current big issue, and maybe not necessarily just here, but all of New York City? People not knowing about their elected officials, how they get involved with politics, that sort of thing.
I think people are a little more, their awareness is a little more heightened because of what's going on nationally.
Sure.
There's a big election next year, but there's even bigger elections in 2021 where nearly 2/3 of the city council is going to be vacant. It's going to be up for election. We're going to have a new mayor. We're going to have new borough presidents.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
We want to get this information out to people earlier, letting them know, yes, you may not like who's in the White House right now, but that person isn't going to impact that whether your trash gets picked up or not.
Sure.
That person isn't going to fund an after-school program, so you need to know who your local elected officials are and advocate for that first.
Okay.
And also, with the census is going to be tabulated in the next few months.
Oh, really?
And a lot of people in the Bronx, especially those from immigrant backgrounds, they're hesitant to want to fill out the census.
Gotcha.
And that's so important because that determines how federal funding is allocated towards communities.
Yeah.
So if the Bronx is undercounted, then we get less resources in other communities.
Okay. So wait, a census is every 10 years, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the last one was like 2009?
2010, yeah.
2010? Okay, so it's in 2020. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. What do you think's happened in like the last 10 years? What do you think the biggest changes are in this neighborhood specifically?
Whew, so it's
heavy question.
I'm not that old. 10 years ago, I was your age, so I was 20. So, but I'd say the biggest change is the crime rate has gone down dramatically.
Yeah.
At least within the 10 years. I used to live in this neighborhood in 2006, and crime has gone down dramatically. I'd say another thing is that housing has gone up as well. I'd also say the unemployment rate is still high in this neighborhood. So yes, there has been progress. Things are getting better, but it's not where it should be.
Okay.
I think a lot of students have this idea that the area near Arthur Avenue is great, and it is. I love that area, but literally 3 floor blocks down, it's like a different world when you enter Tremont, and we're trying to get some of that, economic development closer to Tremont and other neighborhoods.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess like what do you see as maybe one of the biggest disconnects between Fordham and the community? And it doesn't have to be like, in a negative way, but something that maybe you'd wish more Fordham students to understand.
So I'm hesitant to blame any student because
of course, yeah.
A lot of students, they may not be from New York. They may not be from the tri-state area.
Yes, that's
so they're
one of the
coming
biggest
in
thing.
kind of with blinders on. They're going in with the knowledge that administration or staff are telling them. I mean, I've had interns tell me that their first week of orientation, they were told not to take the train and to only take the Ram van. So I think one part of disconnect is that, there's gates surrounding the campus, and there are other universities in our city, Columbia, City College, that have gates, but they're open during the day and they're closed at night.
Yeah.
So little things like that can help bridge the gap. And also, I think, from my experience going to campus, students want to get involved, but there hasn't been an institutional push to get involved on campus. Or if you want to get involved, go to these specific groups.
Okay.
So part of my job is to be relentless and go to the campus as much as I can and speak with as many administrators as possible and say, hey, we have an internship program. We're doing X, Y, and Z. Students can get involved. Helps the students, it helps us.
Okay. Have you thought about doing like a, I don't know how this would work, but if you were to do like a club on campus, like a Bronx Community Board 6 club, and like getting students to do it so it partners with you guys, but then also, when freshmen come in, and they're signing up for clubs at the beginning of their semester, then they can like see you guys that way instead of like, because I feel like that's a lot for you to come in and just trying to pitch it to as many people as possible, but actually having like kind of a institution on campus to bring people in.
I would love that. I haven't thought of it. I need to speak to some people, but I think it would be great. I mean, part of the issue I think also is because we are a government agency. There may be some hesitancy.
That's true.
But any student club that wants to get involved with the community board or local government, we are more than happy to welcome them. And also another thing about the community board, we have meetings every month. All of our meetings are open to the public.
Where are they?
So we rotate them throughout the neighborhood. So the next meeting is going to be second Wednesday in November. We're going to do it at the Belmont Library, not too far from here.
Okay. Is that the closest like venue where you guys would have meetings to Fordham University?
Yes, but we're planning to host a meeting on campus in December.
Okay.
So that'll be the first time in 3 years since I've been here that we're going to hold a board meeting on campus.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
And we also have committee meetings. So whether someone likes youth and education, parks, anyone can be a part of that committee. And any student that goes to Fordham can apply to be a board member.
Okay.
And I think it'd be great if the university would promote that as an opportunity to be civically involved, to be a community board member. Even though you're here for 4 years, community boards now have term limits. So it's okay if you're only on the board for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if, like, I don't think Fordham, don't quote me on this, but Fordham, I don't think they have any clubs that are specifically volunteering. I feel like there's a lot of charity work and that sort of thing, but like that, I feel like this is a great way to get involved with volunteering.
Yes.
And I hope you guys do get like more of an involvement, like with the student, with the population and spreading awareness. Hopefully this helps.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm one of the youngest district managers in the city.
Okay.
And I realize that a lot of people in the neighborhood, they're busy. They have jobs, they have kids.
Sure.
But there's so much energy and untapped potential in this university, this 5-block radius. We need to tap into it, and I'm willing to do so and willing to work with the students that want to get involved in their neighborhood.
Okay. So tell me about yourself. How did you get involved with BCB6? Like, where did this start for you?
So I've always wanted to work in government.
Okay.
But I went to business school.
Okay.
And I did not enjoy any of my classes in business school.
Yeah.
My favorite courses were all outside of business school. So I did a typical corporate job, lived in D.C. for a year, didn't like it.
Okay.
Left that. Then I was a personal trainer for about a year.
Interesting. Where?
In the Bronx.
Oh, really?
At Blink Fitness. And then I left that. And then I volunteered on a campaign for a local assembly member. He won the election. I was his deputy chief of staff.
Nice.
I was there for a year, worked for the charter school group. There for 6 months, and then 5 jobs in 5 years. This position opened up. I interviewed and I got it.
That's awesome.
So 3 years. This is the longest I've held the job down, so I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, no, that's great. You seem like you're enjoying it.
Oh yeah.
Where do you live?
So right now I live in Parkchester.
Okay.
So maybe 3 miles east of here.
Yeah.
But the plan is to move back to the neighborhood here next year.
Gotcha. And you were talking to me. You're considering Belmont.
100%.
Yeah.
I love the Belmont neighborhood. It's close to the Metro North. It's close to the D train. And there's no shortage of good food options.
That's definitely true. That's definitely true. All right. So if people want to look out for you guys, do you have social media? Is there an Instagram?
Yeah. We have the most Instagram followers of any community board in the city.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Bronx CB6 is our Instagram.
Okay.
And we're on Facebook, Bronx CB6.
Gotcha.
Twitter, Bronx CB6.
Okay. And in terms of events, next thing that's coming up, what should people look out for, Fordham students particularly?
Sure. We're doing a daffodil planting at Tremont Park, November 2nd on Saturday. And then if anyone wants to volunteer at the toy giveaway, December 13th, it's a Friday. It's from 6 to 10.
Gotcha.
We give toys to more than 200 kids, and it's a great time.
And then your meeting on campus is in December. The
second Wednesday in December.
Second Wednesday in December. All right. Well, everyone keep a lookout for that. John, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you,
Hank. This has been informative because I didn't know this stuff. I feel like I say that a lot now, but that's like my plan. I try and go in not knowing too much, and then I learn from an expert. So,
yes, and I want to applaud you and your platform. I've been watching some of the podcasts.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I want to beat Simon, my friend Simon. I want this to be more viewed than Simon's podcast. So please watch.
Do you know him personally?
Oh yeah, I know him well.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah, part of my job involves approving all liquor licenses.
So, really?
Yeah, I know a lot of the restaurant owners around here.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate the view. Keep a lookout for BCB6. Try and get involved. And until next time, goodbye.